jeopardize the entire galaxy. Will this team succeed in its mission, or shall it fall to separatist hands and even fall to the dark side? We shall see.
I forgot to switch the mics, so I missed some of the intro.
Anyway, there was no way I wasn't going to try to do anything like that. Here we go. So, before we officially get started, though, I had to do that for you guys. It was the only thing I could do to really get this thing started. But, of course, we get to introduce our characters and the backstories they have. So we'll start with Syro.
You guys still there? Oh boy.
What's up?
I was just wondering if you were still there.
Oh yeah, we're still here. We're waiting for you.
Oh, you need me to tell the story of my character's backstory?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second here. I gotta pull it up on my character sheet. Okay. As a youngling, Jake Gears started his life as a thieving street rat. He was he found that he had inhuman skills. He could leap long gaps, run along walls, and he could often talk his way out of trouble. Little did he know that he was tapping into the Force. So then, one day he tried to steal from the wrong mark, a Jedi Master, known as Master Quartra. He tried to outrun her, but he caught him. He tried to talk his way out, but she wouldn't listen to him. Jake, knowing he was outclassed, he begged for forgiveness. Quartra gave him a choice: become an apprentice of the Jedi Order or jail. Jake chose the Jedi Order. Jake was a fast study, a great deal of the Force, of how the Force works, and learned a great deal of how the Force works, but his impatience and quick anger led him to getting kicked out of the Jedi Order. Because of the possibility he could go to the dark side. On the day Jake was kicked out of the Order, he attacked his master in a fit of rage. In one strike, Quartra cut off Jake's right forearm, destroyed his lightsaber. Luckily, for Jake, the lightsaber crystal was still intact. Well, I didn't know what it was called at the time. Hey, man.
No worries. Yeah, for some reason your audio cut off. But yeah, the Jedi, he never forgave the Jedi Order that gave up on him, and now works as an engineer.
Thank you.
On the planet of Andra.
I'm doing my best.
It's your turn, Ragaz, what's yours?
God, I kind of hate being put on the spot. I'm,
Don't worry, it's just a casual playthrough anyway. Plus, it's a prelude.
long and short of it, is that my guy, Simo, he is a Sith pureblood that was born on the planet Korriban from one of the last remaining families of purebloods.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, as such, he was trained in the dark side of the Force, but didn't really like it. So, as a young child, he had to take some measures to make sure that when he left, he wouldn't be followed. And killed his father and older sister so he could begin anew, and made his way to Coruscant, and
Oh boy, I'm missing this.
and has served loyally since then.
Alright.
1 second, guys. I'm going to switch something.
Alright, no worries. As for the character that will be sorts is the young Jedi Master Zoldan Aurelius. But again, he may be a character I might use for a campaign if we ever decide to do another one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. For Zoldan Aurelius' backstory, his starts out pretty much around the time of several years prior to Episode 1. He was basically born from the union between two Jedi. One that is Marcus Aurelius and Serena Lockhart. The two of them eventually had a child, and yes, they were both with the same master at that time. Master Zeno was the first to ever truly have two apprentices. Unfortunately, their love blossomed and led to a child being conceived. As a result, the parents, you would think, would choose to either set the child up for adoption, but no. They chose to leave the order in favor of raising the child as their own. With that in mind, the two of them would leave Coruscant and arrive on the planet Dantooine, where she gave birth. Afterwards, she, along with her husband, Marcus, would raise the child as their own and named him Zoldan, named after a famous Jedi warrior who dabbled in the dark side. If anyone's wondering about the bloodline between these two and why they seem so special, one of them is, of course, Marcus Aurelius, who is a direct descendant, though very far distant direct descendant, of Revan himself. And no joke, apparently, I actually found this out but he says that there's a possibility that Mike might have had kids, so I thought, might as well just use that part of it. So, yeah, and I had to do that with the dice roll when I first made this character. And so, his father is technically related to two powerful Sith Lords, former Jedi. As for, of course, his mother, not only is his mother was part of the Jedi Order, but she also had to be related to Duchess Satine, or would be Duchess Satine. And also was best friends with Qui-Gon Jinn. Over the years, their little boy grew up as normal as you would think, right? Well, not necessarily. Mainly due to the fact that his unnatural connection to the Force was so insane that it would even make Yona jealous. The reason why is that his connection to the Force is not just on a spiritual level, but an emotional one. He can feel when the emotions, feel stressed, feel happy, sad, basically emotions we all carry. However, This also allows him to determine someone's alignment, being able to tell when someone's good or evil just by sensing through the Force their emotional state at the time. Whether they're stressed out or if it's just they're hiding something, he can tell. Usually it can be blocked off when there's so many presences and voices that he has to sense at the same time, so yes, that's when it usually can easily be blocked. Oh, and another downside to their parenting, they didn't realize that when one day their son, 4 years old at this point in his story, literally decided to sneak on board a ship and accidentally launched himself out of an escape pod to arrive on the planet of Korriban.
Oh, shit.
Yep, this is where he eventually would head over to a Sith temple, which contained the tombs of several of the most unique Sith lords imaginable. Specifically, the one that only sought knowledge, one that sought understanding, one that sought the future, and one that sought skill. All of them incredibly powerful, yet each and every one of them strayed from what the Sith usually do. And so, seeing the boy's surprisingly pure heart and no fear of the dark side whatsoever, lucky that little bastard, he eventually decided to they all decided that they would teach him as much of the dark side as possible. Only 1 month later, his parents arrive on Korriban to find him, only to see him looking like he's playing, when in reality, he's being taught the dark side of the Force from the moment he could speak. However, realizing his powerful talent, both his parents, who knew a lot about the Force, mainly because their master basically stated that he would rather teach them all everything he knows so that they are more than prepared, they decide to teach him everything about the light side of the Force, as well as, of course, lightsaber combat. However, he may not have had a lightsaber, he did have a wood stick, which he often would break every time he swung it. Including the one time it broke off its hilt and crashed into someone's head as they were driving a speeder right into a tree. Yeah, let's just say that he had to apologize a lot for his accidental training mishaps. Poor kid can't catch a break. By the time he helped his surrogate uncle try to repair his speeder, only for him to accidentally turn on the speeder and the jets nearly fried his head.
Oh!
All the time he accidentally fell off a cliff when he was trying to rescue someone. And even though he rescued that child, he unfortunately fell over 100 feet from the top of the cliff and into a river. Despite how powerful and gifted he was, the kid was too nice for his own good. But from what his parents taught him about what the Jedi were, he did have gripes. He was very much a child who did not agree with the Jedi Code whatsoever, believing that it's not only contradictory, but absolutely a heinous sin.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say hypocritism there. Sorry.
Afterwards, by the time he hit 6 years old, after he hit 6 years old, he eventually would find himself on a field trip with his school. Bad news is, it was on Naboo, during the invasion of the Trade Federation. However, while his school managed, luckily enough, his school classmates and teacher were allowed to evacuate from the planet because, well, the Trade Federation, even they aren't that heartless. Unfortunately, the teacher, in her dumbass moment, realized she left her final student behind, Zelden. So the young 6-year-old boy had to go search for anyone that was willing to help him get home. Luckily enough for him, he found two Jedi. Specifically, Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and his Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. During this time, he would eventually join up in the fight, and he accidentally showed off his Force lightning, which then fried all the droids in one fell swoop. After escaping, he eventually would join them on board the Starfighter, and of course would land on Tatooine. As you all know, the rest of the story of Star Wars Episode 1 pretty much continues as per normal, except for the fight with Maul. Zaldwin, being the blessed little good boy he was, first pushed Qui-Gon Jinn right onto the ship as he kept dodging Darth Maul's every single lightsaber strike. Luckily enough for him, he managed to use the Force to force push him back, giving him a chance to jump onto the Starfighter and flee with everyone else. After arriving on Coruscant, Qui-Gon Jinn, knowing his mother, contacted her right away as soon as he gave the signal code for her communicator. And as you can tell, as soon as they arrived, they berated the absolute shit out of him. Not meanly, of course, just...
Where have you been?
Yeah. Luckily enough, they forgave him pretty quickly, and then, of course, realizing later, their master had just showed up to meet them in person. And you would think that he would be basically strict and yelling at them, but instead he hugs them with tears in his eyes, realizing his students have returned. And realizing they actually turned out to be very good parents. However, there was one tiny problem. It's when he suddenly saw some dude about to crash onto the platform. He used the Force to stop the vehicle before it could crash. And Zeno's like, "What did you do?" And of course, you know how there's awkward smiling that any character would do in their series. After doing the test on Anakin Skywalker, Zaldwin was next. And surprisingly, Zaldwin also passed with flying colors. Unlike Anakin, who had fear and he had attachments, Zaldwin had attachments, but didn't seem to feel fear. Like the Force had taught him more maturity than most, or at least most his age. In the end, though, the Jedi were willing to accept Zaldwin on the condition that his parents returned to the Jedi Order as Jedi Knights. Considering that not only did they train the boy to the best of their ability, and actually did a really decent job, though the whole learning the dark side of the Force was definitely a bit of a turn-off for those council members, agreed to take him in. But they would need to find a master that was willing to take him in. Realizing they can't necessarily go on another mission, considering they just joined the Jedi Order again, Zaldwin asked if it was possible if he could check out their lightsabers while Anakin and all the others are still doing their thing. Little did they know is that as soon as he took their lightsabers and were examining them, Qui-Gon and the others were leaving, and being the good boy he was, decided that he was going to go straight after and head with them, which freaked out his parents again. Eventually arriving on the planet, he eventually hit himself just like Anakin did. However, just like in the original, the Duel of the Fates was about to begin, with Maul and as well as Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan getting ready. However, realizing that this was the same bastard that tried to kill Qui-Gon before, Zaldwin rushed in there, bat out of head like a freaking warhead, and managed to hit him straight on with his head and launch him right towards the bridge. Eventually, he ignites his parents' lightsabers and shows off his incredible moves that would almost mimic Yoda. Remember, he's a 6-year-old boy.
Wow.
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan would join him, and eventually, after what felt like an eternity, Darth Maul was killed.
And in a surprise twist, Qui-Gon Jinn would live in this timeline. With Qui-Gon not only alive, he would get to become Anakin's master, while Obi-Wan Kenobi becomes a Jedi Knight. Due to the unprecedented nature of just how this little boy managed to defeat Darth Maul, he was given a choice of any master he wanted. Little did they know, he would choose the most unprecedented master they ever expected. He chose Count Dooku as his master alone. And so, during his time, he not only did he help complete Zaldan's lightsaber training, specifically in Form 2, since, well, bad news is that his parents never knew Form 2, so Count Dooku was the perfect master for that. But Count Dooku was also interested in his mastery of the dark side, and so he taught him in exchange to teaching him about the light and the living force. However, 3 years then passed, with sadly Qui-Gon Jinn dying of illness due to contracting a disease on one of his missions. Obi-Wan Kenobi would take over as his master, and Count Dooku was devastated. But, thanks to the support of his Padawan, Zaldan, his outlook was a lot better. Not only that, when he did eventually leave the Jedi Order and eventually start the whole process of creating the Clone Army, he did not associate with Chancellor Palpatine. Hell, he didn't even know who Palpatine truly was. All he knew was that he wasn't the Chancellor, he was just some random Sith Lord who asked him for help. So that also changed. The pure secrecy of Darth Sidious was still there. And now he had less allies. After, of course, setting up the whole thing, the war would soon begin. Or at least, that is until Episode 2. And of course, Zaldan would do a couple of major changes in the story. During a mission to protect Queen Amidala, Anakin Skywalker would go to Tatooine and would discover his mother was kidnapped. However, since this time there was someone that was willing to hear him out, despite them having basically the most hated rivalry you'll ever see in the Jedi Order at the time, Zaldan was the first person he contacted, and he would disobey the Jedi Order, which, if you were to see it from Count Dooku's perspective, he did that many times, even more than Anakin in the current timeline, would fly over to Tatooine to assist in the rescue of his mother. In the end, he would not only rescue Shmi Skywalker, but would even heal her of her condition. Though she still needed water and food, she would live another day. Not only that, thanks to his wisdom, and yes, at this point he's already a Jedi Knight by this point, he would be the one to convince Anakin not to kill the Tusken Raiders, and instead escape silently. When Shmi returned to her family, he then offered all of them a chance to move over to Naboo, a place that seemed far better than what they were currently in. And so, the Lars family would move out with Shmi in tow as they head to Naboo, and of course, Shmi would get the best medical attention for injuries and condition. During this time, they would go to Geonosis, the whole situation would ensue. However, during the fight with Mace Windu and Count Dooku, Zaldan would show up and would duel both of them to make them stop fighting. In the end, after defeating them both in combat, and yes, if any of you guys want to know, his other masters were Yoda and Windu, so he does know Vapapa and Shatterpoint, eventually told Count Dooku to run in order to get him to safety. And of course, he told Mace Windu that there's more to this war than meets the eye. Now that still didn't mean that it was going to be easy. While the entire Jedi Order chose to fight in the Clone Wars, he aptly refused, stating that he would rather stay in neutrality than ever join the war on either side. He loves his master, don't get me wrong, but he absolutely disagreed with him starting a war, and not only that, making it worse. For the Jedi Order, even though he was hated, the one thing he was willing to state was that he did not agree with them joining the war since they should be neutral, peacekeepers. Basically, the core fun of their entire Jedi Order. It's the only Jedi to ever choose neutrality. After that, he would continue on with his mission, and, in a surprising twist, the galaxy saw his kind-hearted acts, and even both factions of the Separatists and Republic would do everything they could to support his endeavor. After what felt like an eternity, and I do mean feels like an eternity, after 1 year, although officially 1 year after the whole thing was over, he, of course, would finally help a lot of the planets prepare for war. So when the Clone Wars began, it would start 1 year after the original date. And even though he was hated by the Jedi Order, the Council did understand why he followed this path, why he made his choices, and why he continued to do everything he could to make the world, the galaxy, the better place, even if he had to choose neutrality. Oddly enough for him, the Council saw his kind actions, saw the love in his heart, and his faith, not in the Jedi Order, but the people. For the people to decide their own path in life. And so, it was with great pleasure for Jedi Master Yoda and the Council to elect him as part of the Jedi Order, and yes, eventually being promoted to the rank of Jedi Master. He would become the youngest Jedi Master and youngest Jedi Council member by age 16. And this is where the story would officially begin in this new Star Wars canon. So, you guys all ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yep. But right now, this is the prelude, and this is where it's going to get very interesting. By the way, right, what is your who's your character's master?
Shit.
You could choose any of the known ones, or you could choose a random master like Syro did.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just continue with the story, and I'll think about it as we go.
Alright. Okay, let me read through this. Okay. One day, the Jedi Council was preparing a meeting. The entire Council are now prepared for war, though one seat remained empty. Zaldin had left to do more relief missions to help out the people of the galaxy. However, he did return this time, only when he heard about a secret task force being created to help end the war as quickly as possible. This task force will be made of Jedi, bounty hunters, mercenaries, and clone troopers who were considered the best of the best. And so, a Jedi Knight, a random Jedi Knight, would eventually be asked to go look for anybody that is willing to volunteer. First, he finds Syro. Hey, yo, Syro!
Yeah.
The council says that they're going to need you for something.
Alright.
Head over to the basement, head over to the hangar bay, and The rest of the team will meet you there.
Alright.
The young Jedi Knight eventually would run off, and heading down, he went searching for anyone that was willing to help. After finding a few other members of the crew, he eventually would pack up his stuff and head over to some nearby planets that were considered neutral. There he would eventually find himself on the planet of Alderaan, where he eventually found a young man using his lightsaber arm as a means of
Welding?
as a means to repair vehicles and ships. Hey, you Jake Gears?
Indeed. What do you want from me?
We need your help. We're being assigned to a mission, and if you do accept, you'll be given a decent pay, as well as whatever requests you want.
I absolutely despise the Jedi Order for what they did to me. But this battle's bigger than... But this battle is
the
big...
guy who literally attacked his master. But that doesn't matter. This is the fate of the entire galaxy we're talking about here.
You know, I was going to say the exact same thing, but in a different way, right? Anyway, I want to be reinstated when this is all done.
I'll see if we can pull it off. For now, go with us.
Very well.
And so, Jake here would get on board the ship with Zakolan escort as he heads off over to the Jedi Temple, where not only Master Quatra is there, but along with Master Windu, Master Kit Fisto, Master Kiari Mundi, and Master Zaldin Aurelius were there waiting for them, along with the rest of the task force that we see here.
Okay.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zaldin Aurelius. I know you guys all know me for my stance on neutrality in this war. However, this task force is being created for a single purpose: to end the war as quickly as possible. But there are a few rules you need to accept when on this mission. No civilian casualties will be permitted. If there are any, you will be shot on sight and you will be disavowed. So no one will know of your existence, no one will know of your association with the Republic, and no one will know of your association of any kind. You'll be called terrorists. Terrorists that have no affiliation with any faction other than themselves. You understand? Alright.
I knew this would be too good to be true. But nothing worth doing is easy.
Nothing ever is. Alright. I have selected some soldiers to join the cause. First, let's meet your clone trooper forces. We got Domino Squad. And of course, Domino Squad steps forward. Alright, so you got Heavy, Ives, Echo, Droid Bait, and Cut Up. All 5 of these clone troopers will be joining up with the mission.
Sounds very good. More the merrier.
Other clone troopers that have been chosen to join the mission, of course, is Top. They volunteered to join this task force effective immediately after their training was done. As for bounty hunters, we have this assassin droid that suddenly popped up in our feed. This droid's code number is IG-88. And the one next one is named Telsar. Telsar is IG-88's handler and the one who handles the engineering repairs for the droid, as well as weapons. And finally, we got these two. Jedi Padawan Simo. Huh? I've seen your records. You're part of the Sith race, and it seems like your master had recommended you for the rank of Jedi Knight, but seems like that has been rejected a few times. Is that correct?
Not exactly.
Well, that changes now. I'm effectively promoting you to the rank of Jedi Knight. Congratulations, Simo. Especially since you'll be this team's new leader. As for you, Jack Gears.
Jake.
Sorry, Jake Gears. Sorry, Jake Gears. I apologize. As for you, that's a bit of a different story. On the one hand, I would love to add you back into the Jedi Order. However, your temper is a problem.
I understand this.
But, well, that and your complete and utter ignorance. Well, okay. Yeah.
I tried to say impatience, but I probably spelled ignorance.
But normally I would be trying to do my very best to help get you back into the Order. But with your master's death, I don't think that's going to be happening.
Quattro's dead?
Quattro died in the Battle of Geonosis. I saw her get gunned down by Geonosians when she was surrounded. Tried to help her, but unfortunately it was too late. She got surrounded and got killed immediately as soon as the fighting started.
My character starts to shed tears. Quattro was like a mother to him.
Right. Here's what I'm going to offer you. If you complete the missions that we assign you and your team, not only will you be inducted back into the Jedi Order, partially by my recommendation, but I will even promote you to the rank of Jedi Knight for your selfless sacrifice in the line of duty. But know this, any sign of your temper flaring, any sign of your impatience overwhelming you and causing you to cause a mistake that could threaten your entire team, know this. Not only will the Republic go all in its attempts to kill you, but you will not show mercy. You'll be treated as a terrorist, and you will be executed in the most brutal way possible, as according to the laws of the Galactic Senate involving terrorism. Do you understand this, Jake Gears?
That I do. It's the least I deserve.
Good. That means you're going to be second in command to Simo. And also, Simo. I got you confused with another Jedi. I do apologize for my ignorance.
No worries.
Yeah. But yes, I believe you were. However, I do remember that you were asked for a promotion to Jedi Master, though. I do remember that. Do you understand why you were rejected from the master position at first?
Not really, but I can always try again.
Well, according to this, that at the time, your Padawan wasn't fully ready for the chance to become a Jedi Knight. Luckily enough, from what I've seen in your action report, and how your Padawan did in the Battle of Geonosis, I have to say, I'm thoroughly impressed. So, by all accounts, I will make sure to talk to the Jedi Council into making sure she is promoted to the rank of Jedi Knight, and as of right now, you are being promoted to the rank of Jedi Master, Master Simo. Congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you very much.
Your former master will be pleased when she hears this.
Alright.
Alright. I want you all to get to know each other. Because from this point on, all of you will be working together for a common cause. To end this war as quickly as possible. Doesn't matter if you have to sabotage the enemy, or if you have to do investigative work. Because your operations will not be just affecting the Separatist forces. You'll also be hindering the Republic. I know that sounds weird, but your mission isn't to just end the war and have one side win. Your mission is to find out who is responsible for this whole thing. I would have had Anakin Skywalker join your team since he's one of the best pilots in the galaxy. But due to the fact that he's been promoted to the rank of general and is now leading the 501st Legion, all we can do now is that we will assign you a new pilot when the time comes. They even said they'll be providing their very own ship in exchange for the help. So, I hope you guys will be good with having a teammate that has their very own ship.
Alright.
Here are the last 2 points I have to let you know about. One is that currently you will have limited resources. So, if you want to get any resources, you'll have to buy them yourselves. Either with Republic credits, favors, I don't care. Your mission is to end the war and find out who's responsible for it. We already know for a fact, my master has already confirmed, though secretly through secure Jedi channels, that even though he created the clone army, he wasn't the one who paid for the commission. So we now know that there is an outside party that wants this war to not only start, but potentially go in any direction they see fit. It is up to you to figure out the rest from there. Because, under the weird circumstances, neither side knows who's truly running this war. So, and finally, I have mentioned in the report that you will get what you want. From what I heard from Domino Squad, they would like to become ARC troopers. I will make sure that that happens right away, once your mission has been completed. We'll even promote you midway during the battle if everything goes well. Oh, hold on a moment. Sweet. Well, I'm helping us space it out.
Man, this is real.
Who's in here being here drinking it all? Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving it there, and then when I see, then I'll bring it over so we can try to make it last. Because this is like the cabin's boss. No, I'm already up and running. Okay, can you go to your Can you go? Oh, are you still recording right now? Oh shit. Yeah, no worries. Want to be a part of it? Actually, I was just gonna come in and see if we can get your Right. Yeah, no worries. Let's do. If you want to do a voice, we can have you as the commanding officer of this new team. It's the Syro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll let you do your thing.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to be the voice of the commander? No, I got it. I got you're busy. Oh, I'm taking care of the dogs and understand it. I just want to make sure. Just to let you know.
They had to put Bruce down. He had cancer, stuff like that. So they just had to put him down yesterday.
Damn.
Right now, James and Roslyn is just trying to get understandable. And it was kind of like, everyone kind of grieves a little bit different. And basically, when you have an animal die, it's a little bit more different stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So what I was doing was just kind of just allowing them to kind of, if they want to talk about it, or this is what's going on, and those types of things.
Next.
This is not going to be easy for my character, considering that he also has a rage thing.
Well,
He does have the Berserker class, so he has the rage.
oh yeah, no worries. That one he knows is a power drawn from the Force. He knows that one, so you're good. Anyway, continuing on. Alright. And finally, I'm gonna finally tell you this one here. You guys will be rewarded for your hard work and efforts. If you do exceptionally well, we will give you concessions during your mission. Whether if you guys want extra supplies, or if you want your requests as soon as possible, we can make sure of that. But know this. Anything goes wrong in the mission, you will all be disavowed and you will all be treated as terrorists. Mainly for the safety of the galaxy as a whole. Do you still wish to be?
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
For what I want, I have no choice.
Alright, we'll just say that mumbling is a yes. And then, of course, the troopers all are like, Sir! Perfect. All of you get to know each other, take some R&R. We'll give you guys the green light to go when all members are assembled. Because currently we are still looking for the remaining members of the team to join you and your cause. Until then, dismissed. And so, Master Mundi, Fisto, Aurelius, all leave and head straight into the Jedi Council chamber once they leave the hangar. So, what do you guys want to do?
Let's start.
Well, it's technically R&R, so...
Let's start getting to know each other, shall we?
What?
Alright.
Wait, what do you say?
I said let's
Okay,
start
alright.
I said let's start getting to know each other.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You guys want to just make it like a transition thing?
I'm fine with that.
I'd like to make some small talk and hear some gossip at a pub. Or something like that.
Of course.
Ooh,
So we'll just...
sounds fun. I said day drinking. Sounds fun.
Alright. So basically you guys head over to one of the fancy bars on Coruscant, and the two of you basically get to know each other during this time. Meanwhile, the Jedi Council has basically been in debates about whether this group is going to work. Especially under the circumstances, with, of course, a Shadow Company currently doing its own thing. Doing something more on the similar lines. However, Zaldin then says that this team will be different since they are not, they'll technically not be associated with the Republic in any way, shape, or form. Hence why he's grateful that someone is willing to donate their ship for the cause and are willing to fly the ship if needed. So at this point, they can make sure that this mission is completely top secret, even from the Chancellor of the Republic. Not even the Galactic Senate knows about this operation. As a result, the Jedi Council, even though it is a little bit wary of the situation, they're willing to take a chance of potentially ending this war sooner rather than later. Eventually, other beings from across the galaxy hear the call to this new task force through the Force, and immediately start heading over. Ranging from potential Night Sisters to incredible master marksmen, to Force-sensitive beings that exist outside of the Star Wars galaxy, to even a humble farmer who wishes to do his part to help the galaxy heal from the destruction of the war. And soon, a new chapter begins. A new chapter, a new story has only just begun. And that is where we're going to cut it.
Oh, this is the end of the session?
Yep, like I said, this is a prelude. It's going to basically be the start of everything. Not to mention, this will also get people hyped for not only the actual official episode, but it's also going to, in a way, give other players a chance to join in and be a part of it.
Okay.
And since we technically now know that Letty and Plasma and the others might actually join up for potentially Fridays, this will give us a lot to look forward to, and will give us a chance to get a lot of stuff done. Not only that, it makes it a consistent day that these episodes will eventually pop up, so it works out. There we go.
Okay.
And there you go, dude.
Okay, thank you all for watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. See you
Take
later,
care.
guys.
Taddy bye.